Thanks for joining us here, Pacifica Live, hosted by Pacifica Senior Living. We come to you every other Monday at 7 p.m., so if you're joining us on Facebook, be sure to like and share. Hello, welcome, hola, hola, happy Monday. Thanks for joining us for this week's edition of Pacifica Live. I am your host, Melinda Pollard, Director of Business Development here in South Florida for Pacifica Senior Living. And we're going to get right into it. We have a full show today. We will have Emma with Alzheimer's Association talking about the longest day. We're going to talk about some events coming up at some of our Pacifica properties this month. And we have a special guest right here in studio with Inspire Healthcare. So go ahead, if you haven't grabbed your dinner yet, pull it up to the TV or the laptop, whatever you're watching us on. If you're watching on Facebook, if you're listening on the radio, hello, listen intently. I'll try to describe whatever's on the screen. And if you're watching on any of the other platforms, thank you for joining us. Remember, we are here every other Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, so feel free to like and share if you're on Facebook. Bring people on into the party today, okay? All right, we're going to start off by announcing a few of the events that you may have heard of on our last show. First of all, I want to say thank you to Sobey Innovative Rehab for being a guest on the last show. Dr. Sobey and his team, Simone and Marina, thank you so much again. That was incredible. I looking forward to working with you more in the community. Guys, there's a lot of updates coming for our Pacifica Senior Living communities with Sobey Innovative Rehab being in some of our buildings. So we're very, very excited to talk more about that in the coming shows and maybe even show you some pictures of some of the gyms that they build out as they serve our residents and the local South Florida community. Alrighty, so we're going to talk about some of the events coming up. The first one is happening on May 11th at Pacifica Forest Trace. And we're going to get that flyer up here in just a moment. But it is called Jazz and Tea. And we've got a beautiful South Florida artist, Moonchild, that will be serenading us, complete with all of the little niceties of a beautiful high tea on our beautiful property out of Pacifica Forest Trace, 72 Cypress Reserve, 72 acres of Cypress Reserve with a 34-acre lake that's part of that acreage, and just going to be really beautiful, guys. We have our sponsors, Comprehensive Home Health. We've got I'm trying to make sure. Oh, they're on the screen here. WellCare Rehabilitation, First Atlantic Healthcare, as well as Seasons Hospice. So they are taking care of our rentals and our music and our decorations. It's going to be beautiful. If you would like to join us, or you know a senior that would like to join us, feel free to RSVP to 954-908-2811, and you want to do that pretty quickly. That event, again, is on May 11th at Pacifica Forest Trace, Jazz and Tea. Alrighty, and we've got our next event that's happening at another Pacifica Senior Living property here in South Florida, and that is the Meridian at Lantana, and it is the Springtime Shindig. We'll have that flyer on the screen for you in a moment as well. Guys, this is going to be just a lot of fun, taking a little mini tour around the first floor of our Meridian at Lantana community. So you will greet you in the garden with beautiful, refreshing drinks. Then you'll take a trip on down to the pub area, the pub pool area, where we will have appetizers and music, as well as a stop for you to pick up a dinner to take home. Meanwhile, you will also be picking up little raffle tickets to be entered into some drawings, some really cool drawings that are going to happen. That's happening on May 12th at Meridian at Lantana, and you want to RSVP for that, or if you know a senior that you'd like to bring along to experience the Springtime Shindig, make sure you RSVP to 561-473-5129. Make sure you RSVP, guys, on both of these events, the May 11th Jazz and Tea at Pacifica Forest Trace and the May 12th Springtime Shindig at Meridian at Lantana. They are limited seating, limited capacity, so make sure you RSVP today. Alrighty. And it's a beautiful flyer there as well. Shout out to our corporate team for putting together beautiful flyers for us. All right. So hopefully we've got someone on the line. Do we have Emma Nestler on the line yet? We're going to be talking about the longest day. Alzheimer's Association has a couple of main fundraisers that they do throughout the year. Everybody knows about the walk to end Alzheimer's. Everybody participates in that, right? Everybody has their team. They're raising money for that. But one of the newer fundraising initiatives that they have is called The Longest Day, and it is based on the longest day of the year, the summer solstice day, to fight Alzheimer's, to raise money for a cure for Alzheimer's. So we are going to get Emma Nestler on the line here. I think we even have her headshot there too. Awesome. One second. I think we're getting her on. She's on. Emma, are you there? Emma, you're on the air. All right, I think we got a little bit of a technical difficulty, but no worries. We will have her beautiful face up shortly as well, so you'll be able to put a face with the voice. And the Alzheimer's Association's The Longest Day fundraiser is one of my favorite fundraisers, and you're going to hear all about that tonight. We even have a video for you so you can kind of get an idea of what people do on the longest day. And again, guys, we are so happy that you're joining us tonight. This is an attempt to make sure that you stay connected with Pacifica Senior Living and understand exactly who Pacifica Senior Living is here in South Florida. Many people don't know we have 4 communities to serve all of your needs. So we've got Pacifica Forest Trace, which is our flagship community in Fort Lauderdale, 72 acres, again, of Cypress Reserve. And then we have Pacifica Sunrise, which is one of our newly renovated communities, which we're so excited to be able to show you all of the new beautiful things there. Stay tuned for some events coming up there, some grand opening events and sneak peeks that we'll have for some of our professionals, and that serves us there in Sunrise, Florida. Then we have Meridian at Lantana, which is in Lantana, Florida. It's also independent assisted living and memory care coming soon, as well as Pacifica Palm Beach, which is our memory care community in Green Acres. All righty. So have you heard enough about our 4 communities? Great, because I think we got Emma on the phone now. Emma, you are on the air.
Hi, Melinda. I hope you can hear me.
Hey, I think I hear you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing great. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Are you driving?
No, I'm not.
Okay, good. All right, I was going to tell you to be safe on the road. Okay, good. I'm glad you're not driving.
No.
So I already gave people a little bit of a precursor of what we're going to be talking about tonight. But before we get started, I have a video that I'm going to show everyone. So you stay on the line, and we are going to show everybody a little video about the Alzheimer's Association, The Longest Day. Be right back, guys.
The longest day is the day with the most light, the summer solstice. On June 20th, help us stand up to the darkness of Alzheimer's by raising funds for the care, support, and research efforts of the Alzheimer's Association. It's easy. Pick any activity you enjoy and turn it into a fundraiser to fight Alzheimer's. From bowling to basketball and card games to crafts, any activity can be part of the longest day. Your family, friends, colleagues, and the Alzheimer's Association are here to support you along the way. Together, we can get closer to our ultimate goal, the first survivor of Alzheimer's. The day with the most light is the day we fight. Start now. Select your activity at alz.org/thelongestday.
The longest day! Woo!
All righty, Emma, are you still with us?
I am.
Yay! All right, guys. So you saw that really cool video that the Alzheimer's Association Florida put together so that you can get an idea of what the longest day is. But Emma Nestler is here to talk to us more about it, about how you can get involved. Anybody can get involved. So, Emma, I'm going to let you take it away. Could you tell the people a little bit about the longest day and how they can get involved?
Awesome. Thanks, Melinda. Yes, so the longest day is such an awesome opportunity for people to come together as friends, family, coworkers, through any sort of activity of your choice. It's a great way to take something that you're really passionate about and turn it into a purpose to help us raise funds and awareness for the Alzheimer's Association. And so people get really creative with the longest day because it's very flexible. You really get to choose what you want to do, how you want to fundraise, who you want to fundraise with. And yes, the longest day is June 20th, but you can really choose to participate year round. And then on June 20th, we really take that day to celebrate our accomplishments and what we've done to help raise funds, and also really honor our caregivers, because every day is the longest day for them, those living with the disease and those that we've lost as well. So we really take that day to, honor and remember our loved ones.
Yeah.
But yes, and if you're thinking, what if I don't want to participate with a big group of people? That's totally okay. We have so many virtual fundraising ideas. We've learned so much as a community how to do these virtual events over the past year. So anything can be turned into a fundraiser that way. But also, you can also do a solo activity. Maybe you're an avid runner. That's a great fundraising activity as well.
Yeah, no, that is what I love about the longest day, is it's so flexible. You can mold it to however you want. Again, we all know the walk, and we love the walk, and we love getting together with our teams as we walk to end, find a cure to end all of these diseases that take the mind. But the longest day allows you to make it really personal. And that's what I've loved seeing, are
Absolutely.
all the really cool ideas that people have done to make it something that's important to their family, maybe for someone that that's had Alzheimer's. I know one of the ladies at Tequesta Austin with Brain Matters Research, her and her family, they do a shopping day where I can't remember how she puts it together as a fundraiser, but she does it as shopping because their matriarch of their family loved shopping. So they make it about that.
Exactly, yes. It's a great way to take something that your loved one really enjoyed doing and, turn it into a fundraiser in honor of them. Absolutely. And then if you're like, I really want to participate in the longest day, but I don't know where to start, that's what we're here for, is to, help you brainstorm ideas and figure out what works best for you and your friends and your family as well.
Right, right. Well, Emma, thank you so much for coming on tonight and letting people know a little bit more about the longest day. Of course, we want people to get registered here. We've got until what date's the longest day?
June 20th. So we are almost a whole month away, which is crazy.
Yeah, I know. But we want you guys to get signed up. Again, like Emma said, this could be a solo fundraiser. Maybe you're going on a run and you're having people donate based on the number of miles that you run, or maybe you're doing a lemonade stand. Whatever that is, you can make it your own, and those funds go towards the research, the cause that we're all fighting for this horrible disease.
Exactly.
So is there anything coming up? I know that we had a few forums and things like that for the longest day. Is there anything special that we should tell people about right now?
Right now, actually, I don't think there's anything specific that's coming up. We just had a fundraising webinar last week, and if you join our Facebook group, you can watch the recording there. And registration is super easy. You just go to alz.org/the longest day. And when you register, you make a $20 donation, and you do get a T-shirt sent to you in the mail. So that's always exciting.
Yeah, so even if all you gave was $20, you get a T-shirt. But we're going to raise more than that, because we want to knock the goals out of the water for 2021. We are back. We are fierce. We, like Emma said, we were able to all pivot and make these virtual events really effective last year for 2020. And now we've got the power of knowing how to do a virtual event and how to do hybrid events as well as those in person. So today's your day, guys. Let's go ahead. Let's get registered for the Alzheimer's Association, the longest day. Emma, you want to tell them where to go again and put that graphic back up for us with that web?
All right. The website is alz.org/the longest day.
All righty. There we go. So that's alz.org/the longest day. Fun fact, you can even put alz.org/TLD. When I'm lazy, sometimes I just do TLD. So however you get there, go ahead tonight and get registered and join us on this journey as you do something that's important and fun for you.
Absolutely.
All right.
And we thank you so much for everyone's support and help making a difference in this community.
All right. Well, Emma, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I know it was super last minute, but I knew that we were a race against time to get people registered before our June 20th date. So thank you again, Emma. Have a wonderful night.
You as well. Thank you, Melinda, and thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Emma. Alrighty. And guys, you may have seen that graphic that was just on about the Pacifica Senior Living Alzheimer's Association The Longest Day event. So we're going to get that back up so you can see what we've got in the works for Pacifica Senior Living here in South Florida. A lot going on that week. It's going to be a very busy week. I'm trying not to get like flustered just thinking about it. But we've got at Pacifica Forest Trace on Sunday, June 20th, the longest day, we are doing Art for the Heart. This is super exciting, guys, because Sunrise Dan Pearl Library, the Friends of the Library there, have done this type of event for a couple of years, and obviously COVID kind of put things on pause, but Pacifica Forest Trace is bringing it back for 2021. So this is an exciting intergenerational event with artists here locally, professional local artists, amateur artists, student artists, and this year, some of our resident artists there at Pacifica Forest Trace. Guys, it's going to be a ton of fun. We'll also have a station for you to create your own art. We'll have some musical guests. We'll have a silent auction. We'll have food, of course, because what event without food, right? So you want to make sure you stay tuned for that. You will have opportunities to purchase your ticket for Pacifica Forest Trace's Art for the Heart, their fundraiser for the longest day. And then Pacifica Sunrise will be doing a silent auction, a 3-day silent auction that same week. So stay tuned for those flyers. Pacifica Lantana will be doing Bursting Alzheimer's Bubble, and that is a balloon raffle extravaganza. So much fun, guys. It essentially consists of you buying your raffle tickets that allow you to purchase to burst however many balloons, whichever color balloons that you pay for, and in those balloons is a little number that corresponds to the gift that you won. So it also enters you into an even bigger raffle prize for the whole night. And again, food and drink. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then to be announced will be a date for Paint the Town Purple for Pacifica Palm Beach there in Green Acres. So as you can see, that week of June 20th through 25th is going to be a very, very, very busy week for Pacifica Senior Living here in South Florida. So stay tuned and make sure that you register for your own The Longest Day event, again, at alz.org/The Longest Day. All right. Yay. That was a lot. Say that 2 times fast or 5 times fast, whichever way you want. But at any rate, guys, so thank you again so much for taking the time to hear about The Longest Day. We want you to put things into action and go and register yourself. All righty. So before we move any further, of course, no Pacifica Live show would be complete without the Happiness Chromosome Poetry Corner. That is another one of those things that you got to say really slow or you'll mess it up. But for those of you who are not aware, and I didn't bring the book today so that you can see it, but the Happiness Chromosome is a book of poetry that is penned by one of the residents at Pacifica Forest Trace, Gail Banter. She is an incredibly lovely woman who's super talented and has spent her last 10 years at Forest Trace writing and making art and making friends and just doing life right. For independent living, assisted living, you really cannot beat the way that Gail is living life over there. So I promise to ensure that we present a piece of poetry from her book, The Happiness Chromosome, that she wrote, get this, during quarantine and published. So without further ado, we are going to read one of her pieces from The Happiness Chromosome called If I Could Crawl Into Your Head, read by none other than Aiden Pollard.
If I could crawl into your head, maybe not crawl, but saunter, what thoughts would I find in that sacred domain? What feeling would I encounter? Would I be shocked beyond imagination at how you look at our budding relation? Or would I be filled with sheer delight as I exited the maze, my step now light? Rejoice! I cannot crawl into your head. The sign reads, filled to capacity, which leaves me out there perched on my limb with growing curiosity.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed If I Could Crawl Into Your Head and got a visual of someone crawling into your head. But, you know, the understanding of that poem really is about if I could just get in there and see what's going on. I often wanted to tell my son that when he was little, like, what is going on in your mind, young boy? And now he's 19, and I still sometimes ask that question. But anyway, that was the Happiness Chromosome Poetry Corner, and that was If I Could Crawl Inside Your Head by Gail Banter. And again, Gail is just a perfect example of what independent living looks like. Many people are not aware of independent living. They always think about assisted living. They know about memory care, and some people know about skilled nursing, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit as well too. But many people don't understand independent living in the terms of that it is not something that you prepare to do. It's something that you do to ensure that you can age gracefully, and it actually will keep you from going into assisted living faster or longer or whatever, how to say. In other words, you will delay the amount of time that you need assisted living or skilled nursing by going to independent living. All of the studies show that. Google it. I promise you, it is a way to keep your life healthy and strong, staying engaged socially and physically, all of those things that keep us together so that we can live a long, dignified life, or a dignified life, or however long our life is. So thank you, Gail, again for sharing your wealth of creativity with us. All right. So we are going to go to commercial, and when we come back, I'm going to be introducing you to tonight's guest. Pacifica Senior Living is proud to do what we love and truly believe in providing compassionate, personalized care that ensures dignity and respect for all of our residents. We'd love for you to join the Pacifica Senior Living family and settle into one of our senior living communities here in sunny South Florida that will have you or your loved ones enjoying your retirement years to the fullest. Contact us today to join the Pacifica Senior Living family. We can't wait to welcome you home. Call 954-543-0773. Thanks for joining us here, Pacifica Live, hosted by Pacifica Senior Living. We come to you every other Monday at 7 p.m., so if you're joining us on Facebook, be sure to like and share. All right, we are back to another edition of Pacifica Live. I am your host, Melinda Pollard, Business Development Director for Pacifica Senior Living here in South Florida, representing the 4 communities for Pacifica Senior Living here in South Florida. All right, so tonight we've gone through all of the events. We have talked to Emma Nestler of Alzheimer's Association about the longest day. I am sure you have already gone and registered your fundraising event at alz.org/thelongestday. And we have heard a piece of poetry from The Happiness Chromosome by Gail Banter. Now we're going to introduce our next guest. Joining us tonight from Inspire Healthcare, we've got Keisha and Dana. And we're going to give you their full names here in just a minute. Hey, ladies.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining me in studio tonight. I always like it when people are here because the energy is even better than it already is, because we got some other lovely people here that are in studio. But thank you guys for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Of course, of course. So now I know, Dana, you are at Inspire Lauderhill, which is the memory care. It's the secure unit.
Correct.
For Inspire.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Keisha, you actually are the liaison that supports all 3 of the Broward facilities.
That is correct.
Awesome. And what are those 3 facilities in Broward?
Plantation, Tamarack, and our Lauderhill.
Awesome, awesome. Now, guys, for those of you who don't know what I mean when I say rehab, because you'll hear like words thrown around that are kind of industry specific, but rehabilitation or skilled nursing and rehabilitation centers are the resources that we use in the industry to ensure that people are getting that rehab that they need to be able to go back home, or if they need long-term clinical needs, long-term care at a SNF is what we call it for short, skilled nursing facility, will provide you the care that you need if you're not able to do assisted living. So that is what these ladies are here to talk to us about for Inspire. Inspire is a little newer to Broward County, right?
Correct.
How long have they been in town now?
2 years. We're going into our third year this year in September.
Nice.
So we have taken over the formerly known HCR Manicare buildings.
Yes, yeah.
So we have 5 locations total, but 3 in Broward. We have 2 more locations, one in Miami Lakes and the other one in Kendall.
I know, I saw that because I said, now is Alex still down there? Do y'all know? Is the administrator? Maybe not.
No.
No. Okay. All right. Easy. That's all I knew about Inspire before. But okay, cool. So now with the 3 that you have here in Broward, obviously, hospitals will send a resident or a person to your facilities when. Tell the people how that works.
So the hospital will send us their referral, which is the patient's clinicals. Usually it entails the H&P, their physical therapy notes, progress notes, medication, if they have wounds, wound care order, things like that. And then we review it, see if we can clinically accept. And then we start the process if we are able to take the insurance, because we take multiple insurances.
Right. I saw that.
Yes.
Yeah. You guys take a lot more than some of the others, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. And then after that, we depends on what the insurance is, and then we start the process. Or it could be the hospital, depending on the insurance.
Right.
Because there's some insurance that the hospital do have to obtain the authorization. And some they don't, which the facility has to do that part. So, it's a process.
Yeah, it's a process, but it's something that normally, guys, your case managers that are there in the hospital can lead you through those next steps. But just in case, because there are a few people that I know that sometimes they get discharged right back home. And it really is a good idea to always let your insurance work for you and take those days in a rehab to get stronger and healthier before you go back to your home or your long-term care community, your independent or your assisted living. Make sure that you use rehab. It's a resource that your insurance pays for, so it just makes sense to do.
Absolutely.
Now, I know that at Lauderhill, again, that is a secure...
It's a secured memory care unit.
Memory care unit,
correct. Our primary goal and focus of what we have in our buildings is majority Alzheimer's dementia patients, and we also have a big, large long-term care community there as well. But we do offer for short-term care as well. We have physical, occupational, and speech therapy, and patients can come in basically for either or, long or short-term care.
And that's important to know because I know from my previous life being in memory care, a lot of times a rehab won't take your resident if they have a diagnosis or if they're exit seeking at a normal rehab or another rehab. And so your facility really does offer a solution for those families that are like, I need my loved one to get some rehab, but nobody will take them.
And we also offer respite care for like family members who do, like if they're going on vacation and they have no one to leave their loved one with. Or if they don't feel comfortable leaving them home, we do offer respite care. So they could contact the facility, get us the necessary information, and then we can go from there and work with the insurance in figuring out how we can bring them in.
Really?
And respite can range anywhere from 7 to 14 days.
Okay.
So if anytime they need a break, our doors are open.
That is good to know. That is good to know because I know a lot of times people are looking for respite sometimes in assisted living, but sometimes, many times, your loved one's at home and they're not able to go to assisted living. And so respite at a skilled nursing is a really great resource to have in your back pocket if you need to go on a trip, you need to get work done at the house, and your loved one's living there.
You just need breaks.
And that's with all 3 buildings too. So
really, that's awesome. Now, but insurance doesn't pay for respite though, does it?
Certain insurances do. If they have like long-term care insurance, some long-term care insurances will give the authorization like the Simplies and the Sunshine long-term care will give authorizations for respite care.
Very cool. Very cool. I did not know that. And I've been in the industry for a bit. I did never thought about whether or not skilled nursing had respite. So that's good to know. That is really good to know. Now, I know that between your 3 buildings, is there one that has a different type of insurance acceptance than the others, or?
That will be our Inspire Tamarack.
Okay.
Yeah, they take the Care Plus.
Okay.
So, and Lauderhill does not, and Plantation does not, but only Inspire Tamarack takes the Care Plus.
Do you guys take Humana?
No, we don't take.
No,
the
I know
Humana.
that's one of the harder ones, honestly, for most people. Is the Humana. Okay. All right. Now, and then where are you located in Tamarack?
Tamarack is off Commercial University.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like right behind Publix. Well, is it Willoughby? No, it's right behind Publix.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
okay.
right behind the Publix. I'm trying to. Yeah.
On Commercial.
Yeah, 5901.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Northwest. I think it's 79th Avenue, Tamarack, Florida.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, with you being a memory care facility, have you guys registered for the longest day?
We have not, but we are looking forward to putting something together so that way our whole team can come out and support for Alzheimer's dementia.
Well, you let me know. I'll be there to support as
I most
well. It's one of my
definitely will,
favorite
and
weeks.
We can participate in the walk, so.
Yeah, that's good. That is really good. Now, how long have you been with Inspire, Keisha?
Since they took over,
Uh-huh.
but yeah.
So
in
you've
2
been
years.
about 2
2
years?
years,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. What about you, Dana?
Me, I am going on 2 years
Okay.
as well.
Yes.
This is my second year actually starting with Inspire.
You guys have been in the industry for a long time, or
Yes, a long time.
a long time? No, don't give out.
Feel my yeah, it's been a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, 2 years starts to feel like a long time anyway.
Exactly.
So anything outside of that definitely is a longer time.
But we've been doing admissions for a long time too. Yeah.
So when it comes to the admissions process, I know sometimes that can be frustrating for people. What would you say is the best thing for them to have in hand or to have communicated with the doctor in order to make an admission to Inspire more smooth?
From our standpoint, depending on if you're coming in for long-term or for short-term care, the best thing to do would be to contact the case manager in the hospital and let them know that they are interested in one of our communities. And then that way, the case manager will notify the facility, so that way we can do the necessary evaluation.
Right.
The best thing for them to come with is any questions, concerns. We will walk family members through the whole process. What I generally like to do, and I know what the other buildings do, is we reach out to family members as far as finding out what are their goals, what are their needs, what is
Right.
it that they're looking for, so that way we can facilitate and provide, as well as getting our team in the building ready so that they will know how to deal with the patient pretty much and know what the family's expectations are.
Right.
So that way they can tailor kind of like a care plan specific, more resident specific.
Right.
Yeah, because we get the HMP from the hospital
And
on
what is
paper.
HNP? What does
the
that stand
history
for?
and physical.
Okay.
And when we talk to the families, we get more details about the patient.
What
You
their
know,
likes and
yeah,
dislikes and things are.
Oh, good.
versus on paper, because on
Right.
paper it doesn't give you really much about the patient unless you
Right.
talk to the family. So we like to talk to the family first, and like Dana said, get their goals, see what they like. Maybe Mr. Drummond likes to watch TV, he likes to watch sports channels. So
Right.
all of that information is really good to have, before that
Yeah.
mission, so we can let the team know, the facility know that, hey, Mr. Drummond likes this,
Right.
to make his stay more comfort,
That is so nice to hear, because and the reality is that does not happen many times when people are leaving the hospital and going to the skilled nursing for that short-term stay. No shade to anyone, right? But that does not normally happen in terms of getting an understanding of what that incoming patient, what their needs are, what their likes and dislikes are. So that really is standout for you guys to do that. And guys, for those of you that don't understand that process that happens, when you're going from the hospital to the skilled nursing, many times it's a very clinical process, right? And all they care about is what's going on with your wound, what's going on with your gait, what's going on with, and so to hear that you guys are asking questions that are human care, not just that physical care,
Right.
is super, super awesome.
Yes.
And
yes.
in the memory care unit, that is super important because, for instance, we had a resident who was living in an assisted living facility, came into our building for rehab, and he was in a band when he was younger.
Right.
And he loved to play the piano. And we have a little piano in our dining room, and every day he would play music for the residents, and they would actually sit down and they would enjoy it.
Right.
So to the point where prior to COVID,
Right.
of course, we had made arrangements for him to come back on a time-to-time basis,
Right.
just so that he could play for the residents because they really enjoyed it.
Right.
So that was something that was really, really nice.
That is so nice to hear, guys. That warms my heart. It's one of my passions when it comes to senior health care is ensuring that we remember that we are caring for people and not just for care's sake, but
Exactly.
truly because people these are grandmothers and grandfathers and
Teachers.
aunts, uncles, teachers, sisters, and brothers.
Nurses.
Exactly.
And us,
Yes.
right?
Uh-huh.
That we need to be able to see us in them in order to give the right care. So that makes me feel really great to know that there are other people that are on the skilled nursing side that are thinking like that because again, that's not common. That's
It's
not common.
And that could be us one day.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like you said.
That could be us.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all that they need. Just a simple hello, good morning, how you doing?
Yeah,
Smile.
yeah.
That makes somebody's day.
Yeah.
So, try to make it as personable as possible.
That is awesome. I love that. And then I've had the pleasure of actually bringing lunch over to a couple of your facilities, and that is one of the things that stood out to me was that everybody was so smiley and likable, and engaged and ready to listen.
Right.
Another thing that I really thought was cool was that I got when I was in, I think, the Lauderhill building, I got a rapid test done.
Yes.
Right then, when I came in, if that test was not done
Yes, we will give you
within a
rapid
certain time
test.
frame, a rapid test was
A
happening.
rapid test will
But that was
happen.
super comforting to know that you are taking the people coming into your building very seriously because you guys also are accepting positive cases, right?
Correct.
Yes.
We
Yes.
are accepting asymptomatic COVID positive patients in our Plantation and Lauderhill building.
Very good.
And pretty much we self-quarantine them in a private room for 14 days. If rehab is needed, rehab is given, nursing care, all of the provided amenities that are going to be needed
Right.
because it can be a very trying process.
Right.
We do the FaceTime with family members so that way family members can still check on their loved ones even though they may not be able to come to the facility to see them.
Right.
We do that as well. And we basically keep them until they test negative. And if once they test negative, we have the capability of giving them additional rehab if they're not, strong enough yet to go home. We'll offer additional rehab for however long that's needed and then transition back home.
Very good, very good. And that is important to know because not all SNFs are accepting positive cases right now. And even for those who may be watching that are maybe in the next county over, even in Boca, just know that we're in South Florida. So we're very, very fluid here. So if you're looking for a place for a loved one or client that needs a placement for positive COVID, and you said asymptomatic, that is important, then Inspire, is that all of them? Or
Plantation
Plantation
and Lauderhill.
Plantation and Lauderhill. Very good, very good.
And one thing I didn't tell you about Inspire Tamarack, they are in-house dialysis.
Oh,
Yes.
that's really cool.
Yes.
They have
Okay.
in-house dialysis in there. So yes, they are able to provide treatment without the resident having to have to go through the back and forth every 3 times a week or
Right.
2 times a week to go to the dialysis center. They receive the treatment right there in the facility.
Very good. Now, is that on the long term or for short term too?
For both.
For both? Okay. All right.
For both.
Very good. So if someone is being discharged from the hospital and needing a place that they have kidney, they're actually going for another reason, but they also need dialysis access, then
And that's a process too as well. You
Right.
know, before leaving the hospital, our admissions director, Gigi, she makes sure the tech feed and everything's in place with the dialysis team that comes in the facility.
Okay.
And then she'll work with the hospital to make sure all that is set up before the patient comes in. And we
Okay.
make sure that the patients get dialyzed before they come to as well.
Of course,
you know?
yeah, you don't want that lag
Right.
time. though.
Exactly.
Like, when's the last time? Well, I was in process. That's not the way the kidneys work right now.
Exactly.
Very
But
good.
all of our three buildings, they do provide dialysis, but just the Inspire Tamarack do the in-house dialysis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. And you said Gigi, I love
Yes,
her.
yes.
How's she doing?
And she's good. She's good.
I'll have to stop by. I'll have to stop by and say hello.
Yeah, and then we have Joanne, Alvarez. She's our admissions director at Plantation as well. Yes.
Alrighty, so we've got Gigi, Joanne, and Dana.
Dana.
Okay, alrighty, and that
Yeah.
is at Lauderhill. Plantation, in that
Amen.
order. In that order. Well, guys, we're going to go to a quick commercial. And when I come back, we're going to finish talking to the ladies here from Inspire Healthcare, and we'll be right back. Pacifica Senior Living is proud to do what we love and truly believe in providing compassionate, personalized care that ensures dignity and respect for all of our residents. We'd love for you to join the Pacifica Senior Living family and settle into one of our senior living communities here in sunny South Florida that will have you or your loved ones enjoying your retirement years to the fullest. Contact us today to join the Pacifica Senior Living family. We can't wait to welcome you home. Call 954-543-0773. Thanks for joining us here, Pacifica Live, hosted by Pacifica Senior Living. We come to you every other Monday at 7 p.m., so if you're joining us on Facebook, be sure to like and share.
I don't see.
Hey guys, thanks for coming back and joining us here at Pacifica Live. I'm Melinda Pollard. I'm your host, the Director of Business Development for Pacifica Senior Living here in South Florida. And we are here with the ladies from Inspire Rehab, Dana Oates,
Correct.
Keisha Ayola. How do you say it? I always say
Pronounce
it
it
wrong.
right, Melinda.
Okay, wait, all right, I'm going to say it right. Keisha Ayala Noel.
Yes.
Anyway, so Keisha is the liaison for all three Broward buildings for Inspire, and Dana is at Inspire Lauderhill, which is their secure unit for memory care for short-term and long-term.
Yes.
So we've been hearing all about Inspire tonight, guys, and what makes them different, and it truly is different. It's one of those things that any of you who know me know that I'm very, very passionate about the fact that it is human care that we're doing. While it is health care, it is human care. We are taking care of people's family. We are taking care of ourselves. And so to hear that they're doing things like knowing a little bit more about the patient as they're being discharged in, what are their likes and dislikes, to know that they've got things like in-house dialysis is very, very cool. And again, that secure unit for memory care is harder to come by because everybody is not locked.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when it comes to someone that could be a potential elopement risk, how do you guys go about assessing that?
Pretty much they will, through their clinical information,
Okay.
we are, pretty much given a heads up and an idea. So upon admission, if a resident is at elopement risk, what we have in our facility is like a wander guard. So it would be given to the nurse that they have it in the nurse's cart. So that way they can put it on the resident to ensure that the resident is secured once they enter into the building.
Oh, that's
so if they go to try to exit or access any of the exit doors, it's locked, but the alarm will sound off and it will give the nurse or the certified nursing assistant time to get the resident and transfer them back to an area where they need to be.
That's great. So that Wonder Guard is actually a little bit more of a step above just locking the doors.
Exactly,
Yes. Very
exactly.
good.
That's our alert to know that the resident is trying to, or they're by the door or anything like that,
Yeah.
it will go off.
And that, it's a cute point, because I got a article sent to me a couple of days ago by one of the ladies at Pacifica Forest Trace. Every so often we'll send each other little notes of things that are happening in other parts of the country when it comes to memory care and assisted living. Well, there was a memory care community where 2 residents were able to figure out the code and leave out of the building for for a few minutes.
They went on an adventure.
On an adventure. I think they were
Yeah.
like a husband and wife or a man and woman
wow.
team. But essentially, the man had been in the Navy or Marine or one of those armed forces, and he knew Morse code.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
And so he was able to hear the keypad and
Wow.
figure out
Look at that.
wow.
and figure it out. That's the story that he told. But I mean,
But you see how that long-term memory reverted right back in. You see?
exactly. Those moments of clarity are very
They,
real.
and it may just be a moment,
Yeah.
but it comes through.
Yeah, so the fact that you have Wonder Guard would totally have eliminated that risk, because you can
Exactly.
figure out the code all day long.
All day long.
But that
Right.
Wonder
Wonder
Guard's
Guard
It's
going to
going to
off.
make it go off and
Very
get
good.
the team there in time
Yeah,
to
yeah.
secure the resident.
That is good. I did not know that that's what you guys use.
Yeah.
Because coming from memory care, obviously I'm very familiar with the locked unit and the door like not pushing
Right.
automatically. But even
Right.
with those, it can open.
It
after
can open after
pushing for a while.
after a certain amount of time.
Right.
So
right.
then once they get through that, they still have to go through the Wonder Guard because it's going to sound off.
Yeah, yeah, that is so cool. I love to hear that communities, that businesses are putting things in place that are
Right.
going to really protect the people that live there.
Right,
So
right,
very
right,
good.
right.
Now, when it comes to activities that happen at your building, tell me a little bit about some of the things that happen at Lauderhill and any of the other Inspire.
They have
facilities.
bingo,
They do bingo.
ice cream, social.
Yeah, I love those. Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously, COVID has slowed down a lot of the things
Yeah.
that happen in a lot of the facilities and communities. Prior to COVID, entertainment, is that anything that you guys did?
We are actually in Lauderhill just starting to open back up to family members and to the community.
Very good.
So towards the end of this month, I believe,
Okay.
we're going to have our first entertainer come in and do a puppet show. So for the residents, and we haven't had that in so long. So
wanna see a
we're
puppet
excited
show.
to have that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so they try to do things that are more, tailored down,
Yeah.
arts and crafts.
Right,
and,
right.
taking the residents out in the morning. They really enjoy, because we are a secured unit. The residents aren't allowed to go outside by themselves.
Right,
So it's important for them to get out during the day. So our activities will take them out like mid-morning. They'll
Okay.
take them out. They'll sit down. They'll have their coffee. They'll play music.
Right.
They'll do all kinds of different things, play games, and then take them back in.
Very good.
So that's what we try to do.
That's
throughout
good,
the
because I
day.
mean, this, especially for long term, that's their home.
That's their
where
home.
they're living. So to know that you're doing things to
We
ensure
do
that
movie
quality
nights
of life
and everything
Yeah.
like that. And at one time, we even had the little kids come in during Halloween.
Yeah.
There's a preschool down the street. We had the kids come in,
Uh-huh.
and it was good to see the children interact with the geriatric
Yeah,
community, because
yeah.
a lot of times children see that and they don't know. They don't know how to interact, and they're fearful.
Right, right.
So we had the little preschool kids come in, and the residents gave them candy, and they got to collect and they got to interact. So it was very nice.
Yeah, that intergenerational piece is so
Exactly.
important, and our culture doesn't do that very well.
Exactly.
Right, especially because we have more independent, assisted, and SNF world here in the United States. A lot of
Right.
times it tends to separate those generations where really they're supposed to all kind of be
They're all
growing up
kind of
together.
blend.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and the younger generation should be able to see the older generation, intergeneration is the wise, the
They grow up to learn respect
Respect,
and things
yeah.
like that, going back to the old values and
right,
what
right.
we were raised with.
Right. I'm from Arkansas, so everybody knows.
What we were
my
raised with,
tagline.
kinds
Yeah.
of. So, yeah, it was very nice to have it, but then COVID came. So
Of
hopefully
course.
we can get back to, as we're starting to integrate and get everything
Right, right.
moving in the right direction.
And
for
the
it to-
vaccines have happened in your building?
Yes, we have had vaccines happening, and we're having them throughout. If
Okay.
family members are interested, they can let us know, and then we can get the vaccination through the pharmacy and administer.
And our residents been vaccinated too.
We have residents that have been vaccinated by
Okay.
Department of Health when they
Good.
first initially came out.
Okay.
So that's done, and employees have been vaccinated as well.
Okay.
So it's a mixture. So it's an ongoing process.
Yeah, we're getting to the light at the end of the tunnel.
Hopefully.
Now, I don't know if I may have been the only one that saw this breaking news. Let me make sure I can bring it up here because I was going to talk about it tonight just to see. We're not a political show, so this is not to make any comments, but just to see. Did you hear DeSantis signs order ending all local COVID-19 restrictions in Florida?
Wow.
I have no idea what that entails, what that means.
But hopefully we'll be getting back to
Normal.
Some
normal.
yeah,
some
some normalcy. Yeah, and
Exactly.
I would be interested to know if anybody is watching and you're in the chats. I'd be interested to know, if anyone's heard and to see what does that mean for senior living,
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
senior living was one of the first places that one of the first industries that really started with the lockdown, right, and the mask, and before anybody else was doing that, before it was required to have a mask on in a restaurant, you had to do that
Exactly.
in assisted living and memory care and skilled
Exactly.
nursing, so
Yeah.
or hospital. So I'm wondering, just curious, if anyone knows, if you're watching, and if you know, to be able to tell us. Do tell. What does this mean for us?
Exactly,
Yes,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Because as I said, we just started bringing family members back in, and the way that we're doing it now is through appointments. So family members will call, they'll make an appointment,
Okay.
and they can go into the dining room, and of course we're practicing the social distancing.
Right, of course.
And they get to spend an hour at least with their loved
that's
ones.
good.
Because prior to that, they were only seeing them either through the FaceTime or through the window visits. So to actually see, I had a resident who she saw her son and she was like, "That's my son. That's my son. Oh my God, my son, my son." And I was like, all of our hearts melt because in reality, these residents have not seen their family members in almost
Over
a
a
year.
year. Yeah.
Over a year.
Over a year.
Over
So
a
it was
year.
like she got so excited. She's like, "That's my son. That's my son." And our
And she
hearts
has
just
dementia?
melt. Yeah.
That's
And she remembered, but she remembered him.
That is
and
beautiful.
And he would come and he would visit her through the window, but she actually got to physically see him in person.
Yeah.
So I think that's the best part of what we do. I
Yes.
think, and I think
Ditto.
she would agree
Definitely.
that getting to have that family interaction and getting to know family members and going through the process with them, it's really heart touching.
Yeah. That is so beautiful,
Yeah.
guys.
And all three buildings do the appointments, so allowing visitors to come in, the family
Very cool,
members.
very
Yeah.
cool. Maybe I was thinking, do you guys have any artists there in your building? Anybody that
Not in my building, no.
no artist?
No.
Because I was like, maybe we could integrate something for Art for the Heart for the
Right.
Pacifica Forest Trace.
We gotta find out.
Yeah.
Yes, I always thought that it would be a good thing, but of course COVID came.
Right.
Because things are always going through my mind, and
Right.
I brought up, I said, maybe we could do like a painting with a twist for the residents.
Yeah.
I think,
I was just at one of those last week, right?
Yeah, or
Really nice.
because I remember I was looking into that with activities before COVID,
Right,
to see if we could bring that in and see what it would be like.
Right,
You never know.
right. And, and I am a big fan of making sure that our community partners, that we are partnering together, hence community partner. And so we should see if any of our home health or private duty companies would be willing to partner with you to make that happen for your residents. That is one of the things that I think we all should be doing in terms of giving back to one another. Because again, it's not just a healthcare industry; it's a
Exactly.
human care
It's a human-
industry that allows us to touch other people. So, maybe we can get us all connected. Well, we all know some of the same people anyway,
Exactly.
but making sure that they're there, even though we can't come into the building all the time freely,
Right, right,
making sure
right.
that we're there in spirit by supporting you and supporting your residents, patients that are there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it has been a great time with you. Thank you so
Thank
much
you for
again for
having
coming
Thank
in.
you for having us, Melinda.
No problem. I love having people in. And guys, again, this is Inspire Healthcare. These ladies here, Keisha. Why do I? Hold on, I have to read it so I can say it. Keisha Ayala Noel and Dana Oates. Dana's name is easier.
Yes.
Keisha is the Broward liaison for all of the Inspire Healthcare facilities here in Broward. That is Tamarack, Plantation, and Lauderhill. And joining us from Lauderhill, Dana Oates, who is the admissions director there. Guys, this is an incredible rehab facility, a group of facilities that are there to care for your loved ones, care for you, not only doing the healthcare part, but the human care part. They are in love with ensuring that they're providing something a little bit different than maybe what you're accustomed to. So if you have a loved one that is needing any sort of short-term rehab, any respite, you want to reach out to Inspire Healthcare. So Keisha's number is 754-218-7083, and she can get you connected with any of those three facilities, your Tamarack, your Plantation, and your Lauderhill. Again, Dana is here as the admissions director for Lauderhill, so you can contact her directly as well at 305-367-1467. If you have any questions about rehab, about long-term or short-term rehab, reach out to these ladies and they can answer those questions for you.
Yes, and help you with the process too as well.
Yeah.
Make your life easy.
Yeah. And just so you know, because the doctors don't be knowing everything, right? But seriously, if you ever have anything, remember it is patient's choice, and we are your advocates for you. If you need any connection to anything, make sure you reach out to us. All right, guys, I'm going to go again. I have been your host for Pacifica Live. We are here every other Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Like and share this video if you're watching it after the fact, or just connect with us in a Monday. Not next Monday, but the following Monday. All right, guys, have a great night. Bye.
This message is sponsored by the Florida Department of Elder Affairs, the Florida Association.
Thanks for joining us here, Pacifica Live, hosted by Pacifica Senior Living. We come to you every other Monday at 7 p.m. So if you're joining us on Facebook, be sure to like and share.
Long-term care residents deserve the best care and quality of life. I invite you to join me and hundreds of others in